Don't come at me for saying this, but United States pulling out of World Health Organization is going to affect Africa a lot. We are going to feel the heat. We are going to feel the pinch of United States pulling out of the World Health Organization, because unless another country steps up to fill the void that has been left by the United States, because as I said before, United States is the number one country that funds World Health Organization. So with them pulling out, it means that the funds are going to reduce. And governments in Africa, we have a body like World Health Organization in Africa called Africa CDC, but it also depends on the funds from World Health Organization to run its activities. So it means governments in Africa are going to get less funding, and they're going to divert funds from other sectors like education, infrastructure, security, like all these other sectors. They're going to divert funds from there. Also, immunization is going to be at risk, because who has played a major part in providing immunization for polio, for measles, for yellow fever, and also who is usually very important in when there are outbreaks like there's this one in Tanzania now. It's called Marburg virus. Yes, there's Ebola. All these outbreaks that occur, the response is going to be slow now, because money runs the world. So not unless bwana kizungu, unless another country steps up to fill that void, Africa is going to feel it. Yeah.
Today's key headlines are: how will Africa cope with the US exit from WHO, and African reactions to Trump's executive orders affecting the continent. In Zimbabwe, our reporter Privilege Mushaniri took to the streets to gather reactions about President Trump's executive orders.
I think it's a huge blow, particularly for Africa, because the World Health Organization has been critical in plugging the gap, especially in emergencies such as Ebola, COVID, and Mpox.
For most young people, it would definitely crush their American dream, considering that Trump has come with a very much radical approach with regards to immigration.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Robi Masaga. Today I want us to talk about what everyone is talking about. So immediately after Trump was sworn in, he pulled America out of World Health Organization, and this has received both negative and positive reaction from people. Some think that it's a good idea, while others think otherwise. Many people, especially Africans, are worried how this is going to affect them, especially in the medical supply like ARVs. But let me just ask these guys, why are we worried? Why are we panicking? I believe this is a wake-up call to Africans. It's high time we stop being dependent to other countries, especially the Western countries. This is a wake-up call. We've depended on these countries for so long. And yet, Africa is the richest continent in terms of resources. We can manufacture these things for ourselves, but why do we have to always depend on them? Then the moment they pull out of something, we start panicking. We can't even sit and figure out a solution.
So I'm going to make this video under the assumption that you know what the World Health Organization is. It is a structure that has 194 member states. They focus basically on what health is globally. They combine resources, they combine protocols, they combine trials, and they tell you the cheapest, most efficient way to protect the health of your space, yabo. So they also give money to certain areas where they are needed, like in South Africa. So us, for example, we received between 2020 and 2021, we received 416 million-ish from the WHO. What the WHO does in our country, outside of strengthening the public health systems and giving us guidelines and resources and things like that, they also subsidize ARVs. They subsidize contraception. They subsidize programs that we use for looking after mothers and pregnancy and all of that stuff, right? 416 million. It is not technically a lot, because on health in general as a country, in 2023, we spent approximately 240 billion. Another issue with the US pulling out of the WHO, apart from being one of the biggest contributors, is that they also want to decrease how much aid they send across the world. The last time Donald Trump was in power, he went from giving our country approximately 8.5 billion, which is the normal rands that we get in US aid, towards ARVs, contraception, abortion, circumcision, HIV care, TB prevention, and nutrition, child nutrition, right? We went from giving us 8.4 billion to less than that, to about approximately 6.4 billion in rands. If he's pulling out of the WHO completely and pulling out of US aid completely, we have the potential of losing approximately 416 million minus 8.5 billion. That is a lot of money. That's why earlier when I started the video, I said to you guys, those of you who want to get long-form contraception, get it now before we start to feel the impact of it. Those of you who want to test for HIV, make sure that you're on the most current regimen, check your viral load, whatever. All those things, do it now. All of those of you who are not circumcised, go to US aid agencies and get circumcised now. Because when the aid tap runs dry, I'm not saying we won't have anything, but I'm saying we're already in a place where they've decreased the health budget across the country. And now we're going to potentially lose US aid. WHO has to prioritize countries that are harder than us, that are having a harder time than us. So go and get your long-form contraception now. Close your knees, close your legs, protect your womb, and just, grin and bear. It's time now. This is how it affects us.
I am very happy that Donald Trump has withdrawn his support to WHO, UN, and any other donations that US has been doing to other underdeveloped countries like Kenya. Because by now, US has really been doing this for a very long time, and I think these countries by now should be of age to take care of themselves. Yeah? They should be of age to take care of themselves. And there's a lot of wastages in these countries that US help. In fact, some of the donations that the US government give are stolen by political leaders and used for their personal use. So why is US still supporting countries like Kenya over 60 years after we attained independence? Why are we still relying on US, given the natural resources that we have as a country? Given the way the economy has grown over time, why are we still dependent on the US? Why are so many countries still dependent on the US? It is unfair to the US people. And if I were Donald Trump, I would do what he did. Because a time comes, you stop being over generous and start looking into the interest of your own people. So let nobody lecture Donald Trump. He's doing the right thing. So our African dunderheads, we call our presidents and our leaders, who've been running our countries poor by stealing every coin from the public coffer, starting with one William Samoei Ruto. If that kind of money would be used rightfully, I believe we would not be needing the assistance from the US. And if so, very, very little help. But now every African country, we poor people, are so desperate right now. We are begging US to resume funding us and helping us take care of ourselves. Yeah, we cannot heal our sick as a country unless US come. We cannot look into our reproduction health, something like HIV and AIDS, unless US intervenes. African countries cannot take care of themselves. So it is high time that African leaders stopped corruption, spent the money, the public money rightfully, and that way, as African people, we will stop relying on foreign countries to help us.
Africa has land. Africa has minerals. Africa has the brains. We have the potential to be self-sufficient. So why do we have to always be dependent on these other countries, especially America? Why do we have to always depend on America? Whenever they pull out of something, we start panicking. So why do we have leaders? If they can't think for their people, why do we have these leaders? Are they just there for formalities, to just show Africans that we have leaders who are not doing anything? Because they should be able to think, what next? What next for our people? So does it mean that people are now going to die because they won't be getting these medicines? Will that be the case? Why is it that Africans are panicking right now? America is not everything. I said that we have the brains, but I feel like we don't know how to use those brains. Because if we did, there are things that we wouldn't even be depending on these other countries. Ask yourself, why is it that China is not worried? Russia is not worried. Germany is not worried. Australia is not worried. Why is it that just Africa, African countries, African people are the ones who are worried? Because we have failed systems that are not even helping us. We only elect people to go there and steal from us. Let me ask you people, and I want you to be sincere. If we utilized our resources, can't we even manufacture our own medicine, or even develop system that can prioritize the health of our people and their well-being? Can't we manage doing that? Don't you think that it's just in the mind that we have to depend on these other countries for us to move, for us to solve our problems? I believe that Africans, we are just lazy. Africans are very comfortable suffering. That is what we are. We are very comfortable in whatever situation that we are in. All we do is run away from our problems, running away from our countries. We don't stay home and fight. We don't, because we are comfortable with what. That is why when the moment these Western countries drop from something, we start lamenting, we start crying, we start asking, so what are we going to do? We can't even sit and come with a solution. We don't even give support to those leaders who are fighting hard to make change in Africa. We don't. Leaders like Ibrahim Traore, all we do is try figure how we can unalive them. People who are trying to fight for us. That is what we do. We even use family members to unalive them. Remember, Sankara was unalived by his friend. Imagine someone, a stranger, comes to you, lies to you, convince you to go and unalive your friend. Let's go back to what we were discussing about. Take ARVs, for example. I know they are crucial to so many people back here in Africa, but don't you think if we wanted, we can produce them locally? It's because we've conditioned ourselves, we believe we can't, and that's why we've never been able to develop anything. Do you know the only thing that Africans can offer even to these Western countries? It's our resources and our muscles. That is the only thing we do. We go to their countries, we are given these, manual jobs. We work so hard, so tirelessly. They take advantage of us, and you people, because you believe you can't. I'm just praying that one day Africans wake up. Wake up and see the reality in front of them. We have what it takes to make Africa great. We have what it takes to create opportunities back here at home. But all we do is run away and think that we can't. We can't this, we can't that. We can't this, we can't that. Everything these people are doing, we are able to do them here in Africa. Just that we don't have smart leaders. That is the only problem with us. Maybe even by now we would have a cure to some of this illness. But just because we believe we can't, we've never managed to come up even with a single drug. You mean to tell me that Africa doesn't have scientists, doesn't have smart people? We don't have resources and money to start some medical research institutes. That is what you people are trying to say. We don't have. All we do is start lamenting and crying how America has withdrawn from the World Health Organization, forgetting that maybe that is just a wake-up call. It's a blessing in disguise for them going out of the organization. Maybe it's for us to wake up and do something about our situation. Let me just say this, guys. Instead of us complaining, let's use this as a motivation to be proactive. Let's encourage our leaders to invest in industries that are going to benefit us directly. That is what we need to do. Let's stop complaining. We have what it takes. All we need to do is take action. Yeah, let me know, guys, what you think. Do you think I'm lying or do you think I'm right? Let me know in the comment section, guys. And remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time,